So, Joe, I was going to ask you because the defensive line was my main position of concern. They brought in some transfers that should really pay off. I think Ben Smiley will be good, and then I think it was Vincent Carroll Jackson is one of the returners. But they brought in the Stephen Wright, who's transferred 3 times, and he played at Texas Southern last year. They brought in a couple guys from Nebraska as well. That's my concern right now for their position-wise, because it's always been our strong point. We've had very good defensive linemen, and I have concerns this year, and I wanted to get your thoughts.
Well, I think, Steve, and Shu, when you're in this era of the transfer portal and guys are coming in up till the first day of practice,
Yeah.
you really don't know what's going to happen. Now, Matt Brock did a terrific job with the defense last year, but as you said, the line gutted by graduation.
Yeah.
And I think in the scheme that they run in that 3-3-5, it's important that you get 6, 7, maybe even 8 defensive linemen who can play, because then you rotate guys in and keep them fresh. And I think the Central game, not to diminish Central, because I think they'll do well in their league, but I think the Central game will be a real area of finding out who plays well with whom, who mixes well, because then you go to Syracuse, and that
Yes.
won't be an easy landing spot.
No.
At the Carrier Dome, or whatever the hell they call it now. I know it's not the
No.
Carrier Dome anymore because
I know.
we're not investing in air conditioners up at Syracuse, I guess.
We're out.
But I think I will say this with the talent it appears that they have on offense, and you can never know about injuries, but I would think with the talent they have on offense, if they can hold teams to 24 points, they should win most games, because I think they'll score. I think they'll score quite a bit. And that's incumbent on Joe Finiano staying healthy.
And Dave, I agree. Remember, I said the same thing when we were talking about the offense. I think they're going to be much more explosive with the running backs they have. I think that tight end group is great. And they brought in just a slew of wide receivers. So I think the same thing. They're going to be more explosive. They're not going to be scoring 17, 21 points a game. I think they're going to be scoring 35 plus if they get rolling. And like Joe said, they keep the Joe standing upright.
But I think the big thing too is that they have a much better situation from a quarterback standpoint. Meaning, last year when we were talking about it at this time or shortly after this, we didn't know what the situation was going to be. We were going with we were going to be dual threat with the transfer from Wisconsin,
Nick Evers.
Nick Evers. And so we didn't know. We led with him for a long time. He got hurt. He kind of didn't. They didn't know exactly who they wanted to be on offense with him, or they did, and it just wasn't working the way they wanted it to. And then we went to Joe Finiano, which is really a situation where it's gives you the ability to less worry about scheming things for the quarterback as far as run wise and having to read, which and allows you to really focus on the backs to be able to get them the ball in the run game and to throw when you need to throw. And you can do more RPOs with the running backs and the receivers or / tight ends than focus on the QB option game and putting that on the quarterback, which obviously is great if you have just a guy there. But if the guy, I said it last year, if the guy's kind of like pretty good but not elite there, you really can get a lot of problems because it's not like he's just going to outrun guys when he pulls. So,
Exactly.
And then he's going to get beat up and hurt, right? So that's really what ends up happening. And I think in today's college football, even at the team levels that we play. Everybody's got fast defensive ends. Everybody's got linebackers that can run. That's changed significantly over the years because of the spread game. So when the QB goes to pull, if he's not really an elite runner, there are guys that can run with him at the college level that can chase him. And all that I think you end up doing is you end up getting beat up, right? You want to pick and choose your spots there. And with Finiano, you don't have to really worry about that. That allows him to just kind of focus on the other players. And he's a traditional, pro style quarterback, and you can focus on RPOs where you need to, and getting the ball in your playmakers' hands. I think that gives them an advantage, especially in the majority of the level of the teams that they're playing against. As far as I don't even know what you call it. What is it called? Group of four or five?
The group of five, and
group of power four in the group of
Power four and a group of five. Is that what it is now?
Yeah.
Until next year when it becomes like power three,
power one, and group of 8. When it's the SEC and Big Ten, it's the power 2 and then the group of 7.
Yeah.
We talk about Evers. I would expect them to have a package every game for him. Things to be able to do, because I think they brought him in, and let's be honest, boys. It's an era where some players, and Nick Evers was one of them, from what I've made to understand, was paid a lot of money to come to UConn.
Right.
Properly. Not illegally, but properly. And it just didn't pan out last year. Well, I don't think he took a pay cut. I still think he's doing well. So you wanna get usage out of him, and he has abilities. He's a good runner. I don't trust his decision making, so I don't think the thing you want to do is give him a lot of pass opportunities. You need some to keep the defense honest, but I think at least once a half, and always in the first half, depending on how the game goes in the second half, I think we'll see Evers come in for a series, maybe 2, and try to exploit his capabilities. I don't think there's any question in my mind that we'll see that happen.